Okay, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a Riverscapes themed website. And so within the Riverscapes Consortium, we have just a common themed package here for doing these Git hosted websites where the website and all the documentation is actually right next to the repo. And these are really simple. So if I go into a tool, I'm going to go into a tool that has one like PyBrat. PyBrat's website, which is linked right here, this is the repository, is all hosted right here in this docs folder. That is the website, which is this guy right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how quickly we can do that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Riverscapes, and I can either create a new empty repository and make a website in it, or go to an existing tool. So I'm going to go to an existing repository. This one doesn't have anything yet. It's our placeholder. That's a good one to play this game. And what I'm going to do is follow the simple instructions that are on the documentation for creating a website. And that's to download the latest website template here. Okay, and so if I go to this, it's the zip file. So I'll just download that, and you can put this wherever you work, but I tend to have all my Git repos just here in OGit, and then whatever the organization I'm working in. So I've got that Riverscapes web template. There's one there. I'm just going to overwrite it. Okay, and what we're going to do is unzip this, and we'll unzip it to there. That's fine. Okay, and so, whoops, let's see here, what's happened. So it's unzipped to this folder, and it's called docs, okay? So next thing I need to do is I need to go get the repo that I want to put this stuff in, and you can use whatever client you like. I tend to use GitKraken, and so what I'm going to do is clone this repo, and I'm going to put it here in Git Riverscapes, and I'm going to log on here. So that was called VBet, and there it is. And I clone that repo, brings it down. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And so I've got the latest version right there. It's all synced up. And so if I come back over here, I should have that VBet folder. Okay, so there's the same repository that we're looking at there. Okay, and so what I'm going to do now is that zip file that we unzipped, I'm going to grab this docs folder. Inside of it, it basically just has everything you need for the website. This is a template. I'm going to copy that whole folder. Okay, come over here, and I'm going to paste it. And GitKraken, or whatever your Git client, should notice that, oh, hey, there's a whole bunch of stuff that just got brought in. So this is, I'm just going to put this commit up as a copy of RS web template. Stage all those changes, commit, okay. And so now, if I come back to our instructions, where do we go? Our instructions, unzip, we did that. If you're creating a web repository that is also your tool or source code, then we just step ahead. So that's where we are. And so we need to push these up. And so then the next thing is we're just going to go in and change the settings so that it knows, so that GitHub knows to use this as a repo. So let's push this. That's pushed. Okay, so now I should refresh. It sees the docs folder there. Okay, so now what I got to do is go to settings, come down, and notice here it says GitHub pages. There's none. So we're going to do this master branch docs folder. if I was putting, if all this repo was a website, this one is going to be code and a website. So it's going to be in this docs folder that we just copied in. So I do that, and I can come back out. Actually, sorry, I always forget to do this. Once that happens, it gives you what the name of the website is. So I'm going to copy that link address, and you'll see why in a second. I'm also going to open it in another tab, and notice it hasn't found it yet. So everything that these get hosted websites, they're kind of interesting. They're not actually, there's no actual server for this, and these are all just using rendering of markdown pages. And they check periodically, so it takes somewhere between 30 seconds and a couple minutes for these things to go live. So that one's still not live. But what we always like to do is back in the root of the repository on the description, edit this so that you can paste in that website. The reason it's nice for that is because as a standard, when you come into any repository and there's the little description, and then if there's this right there to click on, then that's quite handy. So let's just see if that has hit yet. Doesn't seem to. Every once in a while, your browser sort of, whoops, that's not what I need to do. Your browser sort of outsmarts itself, and it's trying to load what it thinks is there from memory, but in this case, it's still not up, So we'll go on to a couple of the next steps, and so one of them is going to be to edit this config YML file. So I'm just going to do that locally. So here I am, and I go into my docs folder. And what this config YML file does is this is going to control the name of my site, what the sort of default URL is, and then the little description that comes up with it. So let's just see, did this come yet? Still working, still thinking. Okay, so this site we will call VBET, Valley Bottom Extraction Tool, and we'll, this tool helps delineate valley bottoms from digital elevation models and a Riverscape network. So the repo here by default that it creates is going to be that, right? So riverscapes.github.io. So let's just make sure we got that right. Yep, /VBET. Yep, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I hit Control S. So we come over here and we have our one file that we just changed, our config YML file. So updated to updated site name and URL. So I'll go ahead and push that. So should have seen that. That's 4 commits. Let's go see. This still is going to take a little bit for it to find itself. And so there we have it. We've got our boring site. It's got some different examples. You know, a subdirectory that has a index file in it, a subdirectory that doesn't and has other things, other subpages in it, has a little style guide, cheat sheet, and has of course the home page. Something's going on right there, but basically there we go. Under 10 minutes we got ourselves a website, and so you can go to the consortium web page here for documenting a tool website. So there's pages on creating new ones, editing existing, how to write, common content. This little cheat sheet for the style guide is quite helpful, etc., etc. So that's all there is to it. You got a website. Have fun.